The country's top political advisory body convenes its annual meeting to chart the way forward for the nation. Commerce Ministry hits back with additional tariffs on American agricultural products after U.S. doubles duties on imports of Chinese goods. And U.S. President Donald Trump suspends military aid to Ukraine, citing a review of the assistance provided to the Eastern European country. Good evening. You're watching Cable News. I'm Jeremy Zhu. The nation's top political advisory body, the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, held its opening meeting at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing this afternoon. Addressing President Xi Jinping, other state leaders and delegates, Chairman of the CPPCC Wang Huning recapped national achievements and urged friendship and unity among different sectors of the government. Evelyn Bai reports.
President Xi Jinping and other key party leaders were given a rousing welcome as they entered the Great Hall of the People. The national anthem was played before the meeting commenced. The 2,000-odd delegates, who represent the length and breadth of the mainland, belong to different ethnic identities and groups, including Hong Kong and Macau. But all are part of the single political fabric which strives for the betterment of the whole nation. Over the next 6 days, delegates will hear and deliberate work reports and submit proposals to the Standing Committee of the CPPCC. CPPCC Chairman Wang Huning noted that 2025 is the final year of the 14th five-year plan, which makes it more important for further deepening reforms comprehensively. Economic and social development targets were accomplished, while major strides were made in the country's modernization drive, Wang said. Commenting on Hong Kong and Macau, Wang pledged to arrange inspection tours aimed at deepening exchanges and cooperation between the mainland and the two SARs. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
The third session of the 14th National People's Congress is set to commence tomorrow, following a preparatory meeting held today. Hong Kong deputies have indicated they will voice support for the city's economic development and better integration with the Greater Bay Area. Over 30 deputies from Hong Kong, including Starry Lee, member of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, and delegation leader Ma Fengkuok, arrived early at the Great Hall of the People for the preparatory meeting. The agenda included electing the chair and secretary general, as well as voting on the conference schedule. Deputy Ng Chao Pei highlighted the discussion on advancing Hong Kong's integration with the Greater Bay Area, describing it as a significant opportunity for the city. He emphasized the need for improved mechanisms and a review of achievements over the past 5 years to further support regional development. Meanwhile, Deputy Brave Chan expects the Hong Kong delegation to meet with national leaders, including Vice Premier Ding Xuexiang, during the sessions. He expressed optimism about the improving economic indicators for both Hong Kong and the mainland, stating that deputies are keen to collaborate on supporting national and local policies to bolster the SAR's economy. Beijing has announced retaliatory tariffs on selected American goods and added at least 25 U.S. firms to its export control list. The new levies and restrictions on American corporations come after U.S. President Donald Trump doubled tariffs on Chinese goods heading into the U.S. to 20%. Anna Chen has more details.
The Commerce Ministry slapped additional duties of 10% to 15% on imports of selected agricultural products from the U.S., including staples such as chicken, wheat, corn, soybeans, pork, and beef. Commenting on the new tariffs, a spokesperson for the 40th National People's Congress said China stands ready to work with the U.S. to address each other's concerns through dialogue, but will never accept any acts of pressurizing or threatening. The targeted response against the backdrop of the two sections meeting was meant to send a strong signal to Washington that Beijing will firmly safeguard its legitimate rights and interests. The 25% tariffs imposed by Trump on Canada and Mexico also took effect today. Trump has blamed both countries for failing to stop the flow of drugs and illegal migrants into the United States.
And they're being punished by tariffs. It's a very powerful weapon that politicians haven't used because they were either dishonest, stupid, or paid off in some other form. And now we're using them.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said his country would impose tariffs on more than $100 billion of American goods immediately. Mexico did not give any details on its countermeasures, but President Claudia Sheinbaum said her country has a plan and will wait and see what happens. Anna Chen, Cable News.
A survey by a women's rights group has found that more than 70% of Hong Kongers are hesitant to have children due to the financial burdens of parenting. The Hong Kong Women Development Association group has called on the SAR government to introduce family-friendly workplace policies to boost efforts in promoting childbirth. Cheryl Yun reports.
After interviewing 2,280 Hong Kongers aged below and above 50 years, 28% of the respondents expressed a desire to have children, marking a slight increase of 2.1% from the previous year. However, 70% were reluctant to start families. Youngsters between the 19 to 29 age group showed the most reluctance towards having children, with merely 23% showing some willingness to have children. Those aged 30 to 39 were more optimistic, indicating a trend of delayed parenthood. The survey highlighted that 92% of respondents cited the increasing cost of raising children as a significant deterrent, while 85% emphasized the importance of personal freedoms, signaling a shift in values among the younger generation. Other contributing factors included demanding work schedules and inadequate childcare support. The rights group has urged the government to incentivize family-friendly workplace policies, such as offering tax relief for companies that adopt practices like flexible working hours and remote work options. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Tourism Chief Rosanna Law confirmed reports of individuals sneaking into the Kai Tak Sports Park for the opening ceremony without tickets. Law said the police are investigating the alleged breach and stressed the importance of addressing security gaps. Cheryl Yun reports.
During the opening ceremony of the multi-purpose venue, a man allegedly sneaked people past security checks and into the stadium, charging them $1,000 each. Taking to the airwaves, lawmakers Adrian Ho and Stephen Ho said they had an unpleasant encounter at the event when two Mandarin-speaking women occupied their seats in the VIP section. After calling for security assistance, they managed to get their seats back and the two women were asked to leave. Ho defended the strict security measures but suggested improving seat allocation in the future.
而唔好喺度拘泥住，哎呀，我淨係望住好細，哎呀呢度出事，我唔記得咗，原來我咁大件事，咁大。
While confirming the occurrence of such cases, Tourism Chief Rosanna Law urged Hong Kongers to focus on the event's success. She dismissed the issue as a large-scale violation, asking people to have more basic confidence that these issues can be easily solved. However, Law stressed that police are currently following up on the incident. She pledged to work on tackling any loopholes, including using the help of technology, such as real name registration or facial recognition. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
U.S. President Donald Trump has suspended shipments of military aid to Ukraine. Confirming the news, White House officials stated that the suspension was needed to review if the aid was contributing towards a solution in Ukraine war with Russia. Anna Chen reports.
Following Trump's Oval Office showdown with his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky last week, such a move by the United States was highly anticipated. White House officials reported that the suspension will remain in place until Trump can determine that Zelensky is committed to achieve peace, essentially forcing Kyiv to the negotiating table by taking further losses on the battlefield. Trying to get support from his European allies, Zelensky further aggravated the situation, saying that an agreement to end the war is still very, very far away. Earlier, Trump said a deal ending hostilities could be made very fast, but hinted that Zelensky does not seem to be interested.
Now, maybe somebody doesn't want to make a deal, and if somebody doesn't want to make a deal, I think that person won't be around very long. That person will not be listened to very long, because I believe that Russia wants to make a deal.
The halt in aid will apply to all military equipment not yet inside Ukraine. Analysts believe that Ukraine can sustain its current fighting pace for several weeks before feeling the impact of the aid suspension. Though European nations may be able to replace U.S. shipments of artillery, but the most advanced weapons used by Kyiv come from Washington. Anna Chan, Cable News.
Israel has cut off the entry of all food and other goods into the Gaza Strip in order to pressure Palestinian Hamas to agree to the new ceasefire proposal. Israel said the move resulted from the refusal by Hamas to extend Phase 1 of the ceasefire deal, which ended last week. Israel has asked the armed group to release all hostages before negotiating a complicated Phase 2, which involves Israel's withdrawal from Gaza. Hamas accused Israel of trying to collapse the ceasefire agreement. Israel's defense minister Israel Katz has warned that the gates of Gaza will be locked and the gates of hell will open if all hostages are not released soon. While Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has threatened the besieged enclave with consequences you can't imagine. In a move that could possibly anger Beijing, chip-making giant Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, better known as TSMC, is investing $100 billion in the United States, building fabrication plants and creating thousands of high-paying jobs. U.S. President Donald Trump made the announcement from the White House alongside C.C. Wei, CEO of TSMC. The massive investment will contribute to building 3 advanced chip-making fabrication plants, 2 advanced packaging facilities, and a research and development center, bringing the firm's total U.S. investments to around $165 billion. Trump pointed out that semiconductors are the backbone of the 21st century economy, and TSMC's U.S. investment is a matter of national security. One of the TSMC's biggest customers, U.S. chipmaker NVIDIA, said the new fabrication plants will be the fundamental pillars of a new technology supply chain centered in the U.S. Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day down 64 points. Top active stocks of the day. BYD was down $24.60. Alibaba was down $2.60. Tencent was up $7.80, and Meituan was down $1.40. That's our news tonight. I'm Jeremy Zhu. Thank you for watching, and good night.